up, guys? Welcome back to Pro Sports
The
Room.
most logical sports podcast in the world.
Yeah, it's the most logical sports podcast that you could listen to.
It's the most logical subscription you're ever going to subscribe to.
You should just subscribe right now. My name is Mike, aka the Birthday Boy, and this is my good friend, my co-host,
Stank James.
My
This
best
is
bud.
Logic.
aka Bobby Tarantino, aka Sir Robert Bryson Hall.
Yeah.
The second.
Yeah.
It's my man. This is what my good buddy co-host Caleb got me for my birthday.
AKA got a really punchable face. Even though I like his music.
Hating, man. You hating.
Because, even you've said it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that,
Yeah,
man.
no
I
problem.
appreciate it.
No problem.
I'm gonna
It
put-
looks great.
I'm gonna put it right here.
We're going to hang it up.
I don't
Over
know
your
where I'm
bed?
gonna hang it. I'll probably hang
Hang it over your bed.
Hang it right over my
On
bed.
your side.
Um,
Or over Allison's side.
All right, guys. Well, we are back for another podcast after Hurricane Irma shut us down for a couple days.
Yeah.
She a punk. She don't want no more. She don't want to come back.
She done disintegrated. It's all good. But now we got Maria. And she's not even supposed to hit, so.
I ain't worried about Maria. So, with that being said, let's get started
We are back.
with
We are
our
back.
podcast this week. And to get started, after watching such a terrible game last night, what is wrong with the New York Giants?
Like I was telling you earlier, they are the Eagles. Whenever the Eagles had that superstar team with Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson and
Jeremy Mack.
LaShawn McCoy and all that good stuff. Vince Young was their backup quarterback that said that this was the dream team. And then we saw how
Dreamy they were.
that worked out. So I kind of think even though nobody on the Giants really jinxed the team, I just feel like I think that they went out and got another receiver when they should have went out and got somebody on the offensive line.
I feel like instead of drafting a receiver in the first round, you probably should have drafted
Well,
an offensive lineman in the first round.
And in all honesty, they could have still got Brandon Marshall, and they could have signed, a halfway decent offensive lineman, and then, like you said, drafted an offensive lineman. That way, you're winning.
Yeah,
If
I
they
mean,
can-
right? Like if this isn't Eli's fault.
No.
If you really look at it, it's not Eli's fault. It's the offensive line's fault. He has no time to throw.
Pretty soon, Geno Smith's going to be starting, though.
Oh,
Because,
jeez.
in all honesty, they're either going to pull Eli because,
They're gonna blame it on
The-
Eli.
yeah, or that offensive line's going to get the old man hurt. So, either way you look at it, Geno's probably going to end up starting sometime this season.
I hope
If they
not.
don't get their act together.
I hope not. Like I said, man,
And he's going to bring them to the Super Bowl. I almost threw up saying that.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. No, man. Like I can't say that it's
There's
Eli
bad
Manning's
blood
fault.
between y'all. So.
I can't say it's Eli Manning's fault. I can't say that it's,
You got to, at this point, you got to pin it on the offensive line.
You have
now,
to.
Eli does have to play better, though.
Yeah, but I mean, and like everything doesn't start with Eli. Everything starts with the offensive line. Like their
Yeah.
running backs would be able to help, Eli more if they would be able to run the ball.
And I get that. The offensive line is first and foremost that needs the work done. But at the same time, if you're a two-time Super Bowl winner, you're not an elite quarterback, but you're an above-average quarterback. You need to play like an above-average quarterback. I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a great line.
No, but Aaron Rodgers also scrambles. When have you ever seen Eli run out of the pocket?
I know, but
We're talking about Peyton Manning's brother.
But what did Peyton do? He got rid of the ball really fast.
Yeah.
So Eli either needs to, step it up in the film room so he can, know what audibles are going to work on the defense.
Yeah.
Study the defense like his brother did and get rid of the ball fast, or he's just going to keep getting hit.
Speaking of audibles, I just want to shout out an audible that most fans didn't really hear until after. But since I watched the game, I knew all about it. shout out to Derek Carr and the Raiders for their audible. Did you hear about their audible? So it's like 2nd down and 3 on the goal line, and Marshawn Lynch is in the backfield, and he's in his running stance.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek Carr, shouts out the line. He's getting everything set, and then he sees them start to crowd the box, and he calls an audible. So audible, I mean, everyone knows Omaha, pancake, things like that. So it was a designated run play. You could see that it was a designated run play.
Yeah.
So Oakland and Derek Carr decided to yell out the audible word of Seattle to change it from a run play to a pass play on the goal line. And they scored a touchdown on that.
Whoa.
But shout out to, because that was all Marshawn. So
that's a shout out. Shout out to Marshawn.
Shout out to Marshawn.
And then shout out to Marshawn for dancing and
oh man, that
the
was
whole city
great.
of Oakland.
That was great.
And I don't see why your boys get mad at that.
Jordan Jenkins needs to relax. But from what I understand is that it was taken out of context. Because he posted online that it was taken out of context.
Oh.
But I think what he said that everyone freaked out about was that he didn't appreciate him dancing on the sideline, and that it was that he felt it was mad disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet what he actually meant to say was, I didn't like him dancing on the sideline. It was disrespectful, which upset me. Not at him because he was dancing.
He was mad at the.
But he was mad at the point that they were losing and they weren't playing better.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it was.
Well,
I can see that, and that's why it was taken out of context. That's why I was like, nah, man, I'm not gonna give this man any heart, because if it was taken out of context, which that's what he's saying it is, and I mean none of us know besides the people who were there.
and I don't think anybody deserves to be mad at that. I mean, dude's a hometown hero playing for his childhood team in his city that he grew up in. He's on the huge screen for his whole city, basically.
Yeah, but if me and you are playing in a game, in an NFL game or a college game, and me and you are on the sideline and we're losing by 15, 14, and we look over and all of them are dancing, we're gonna get mad, because we're gonna be like, look, they're not taking us serious. They're trying to disrespect us, not as a oh, you guys suck, we're just dancing, but as a they think that we're nothing. Let's go out there and let's go out here and play. Not kind of. I don't think that he was doing it as yo, Marshawn, man, what you did was real disrespectful. I can care less about you coming back to the city and anything like that. I think he was just mad at the fact that they were losing, and that it was kind of just being rubbed in his face.
But what I'm saying is he don't need to be mad at anybody but them.
No, and I think that's what
you gotta play better. That's not his fault,
right?
I mean, when you're winning, you're happy, you're dancing,
no doubt.
So I mean, you gotta.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I think that it was taken out of context. I don't think that he had any upsetness towards Marshawn Lynch. I think he was more upset with his team at the fact that they were losing.
Yeah.
And they were look, man, they're trying to they're over there dancing and getting hype and everything, and it's the third quarter. They're trying to disrespect us. Not as they're actually doing it, but it's
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They're trying to motivate themselves. With that being said, who has the most impressive and the most disappointing team been to you so far?
Well, so far the two most impressive teams is Kansas City.
Okay.
Well, I got 3 actually. Kansas City, Detroit looks really good right now, and as much as I don't like saying it, Denver looks really good. Their offense, nobody really expected their offense to come through and do great. Everybody wanted quarterback change.
Came back. That's great.
Everybody wanted quarterback change. Everybody's talking about how bad their offensive line is. Granted that we don't know if the Chargers are that good. We just know they got robbed 2 games. They're competitive. But they haven't played
last year. The Chargers are man, they're in every game, but they just can't seem to win it.
Yeah, but the thing with the Broncos is why I don't like saying it is because they haven't really played anybody. I mean, with the Cowboys they were a great team last year.
But we knew that they weren't going to be any good.
Exactly, their defense is depleted.
Is just terrible.
So I mean, Kansas City, though, in the AFC, I believe that they look like the most complete team. They are the most impressive to me. In the NFC, right now, I do think Detroit looks like they're the best. That could change because, injuries might happen. The same thing that happened last year. Hopefully it don't. The most disappointing teams, though, we just talked about the Giants because me and you had them winning the East.
Both of us had them winning the East.
But Cincinnati's real disappointing. They're very disappointing. And before I get off the subject, I know they're 0-2, but the Browns don't look half bad.
No, they don't look half bad.
They don't look as bad as they did last year.
No.
So that could be impressive.
Most impressive team to me, Philly. Even though they're 1-1, I'm not just because you're 2-0 doesn't mean you're impressive to me. Even though Philly's 1-1, they are really impressive. And I know they just lost to Kansas City, but I still like Philly over Kansas City. It's just that defense just needs Ronald. If Ronald Darby would have been there, it would have been a different game. But Ronald Darby got hurt, so I can say that. And then next would be the other most impressive team. Honestly, the Rams.
Yeah, I was going to say the Rams.
A lot of people did not expect them to do good. I had them finishing second.
Yeah,
I think I had them finishing second in the division, and I honestly think that they can win it.
They very well could.
Seattle is
like
nothing.
trash.
Seattle is nothing but a defense, and that defense isn't looking very good this year. Russell Wilson looks good because all he does is run around until he finds an open player and then throws it, and then it's like, oh wow, he's amazing.
Well, they haven't scored. They went 8 quarters without a touchdown. I mean, it took 8 quarters to get a touchdown.
Yeah, they scored a touchdown in the last quarter against San Francisco.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. 4 of those quarters were against San Francisco. Even though San Francisco does have a good young defense.
So then you can go to Green Bay and 4.
Yeah. No.
Their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
And then not Chargers. San Fran doesn't look very good offensively because they still haven't scored a touchdown. And Arizona is just hanging on by a thread. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona was like when David Johnson gets back, if they're like 5-4 and they come back.
I think it's worse than that.
I'm just saying if he comes back and they're 5-4 and David Johnson comes back in and he just lights it up and tries to make a playoff run.
Well,
but I can just see them like David Johnson is a big key to their offense.
Carson Palmer cannot carry that offense.
And I know that's what I'm saying. 5-4 is a stretch as
it is.
Fitz
is old. He's got a good receiving core, but we all know Carson Palmer is grade A choke artist.
Most disappointing team. You can go Arizona because I honestly thought that they were going to be a lot better than they really were. But, injuries happen. New Orleans, I thought their defense was going to be a lot better than it really was. But
Sean Payton, I think Payton's gone after this year.
I think Payton and Breeze are both gone after this year, which is going to be tough for New Orleans fans because they're going to be in it for the long haul. Because that's a total rebuild right there.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of another disappointing team, but I really, besides those two, they're just, can't think of another disappointing team. Cincinnati, but then again, they just fired their offensive coordinator, so I wouldn't be surprised if their offensive coordinator coming in makes a different change.
I think the Bengals win this next game coming up.
Who they play against?
Not sure.
Me neither. It makes a difference on who they play, though.
But I do think that they
if
win.
They play the Ravens, if they play the Ravens, it'll be tough.
Then I think they might play the Ravens.
I don't know who they play, but depending on who they play, I can see that being a win. Yeah, man. I just want to go ahead and say this because I said it on the live, but I'll say it on the podcast. I want to formally apologize to ESPN for all of your terrible analysis and analytics and all of that.
ESPN is a sinking ship.
Because I can't fathom how you guys have the Jets as the worst team in the NFL when we've scored more points than anybody in New York.
Yep.
All the teams in New York.
Probably combined.
We've scored 3 touchdowns, which is more than what the 2-0 Panthers have done. The also great, New England or New York Giants have done, which the Giants are also 0-2, but no one wants to talk about that.
Nobody's happy in New York right now.
It's just
put it like that.
It just doesn't make sense to me, like how the Indianapolis Colts and Jacoby Brissett are over the Jets. The 49ers are over the Jets. Like, these things just don't make sense to me. I mean, we put up 20 points not in garbage time as well. We put up 20 points against Oakland. But it is what it is. I'm a little upset about it, but it's okay.
Well, we'll see how upset you are when y'all get y'all's first win in week 16.
Nah, man, we're getting our first win this week. Speaking of which, pick 6. You guys play Thursday night?
We do.
Oh, man.
We do.
So you guys play Thursday night. You
Thursday
guys play.
night
You know what,
football.
man? For my birthday, you will have a win.
Well, I mean, we're playing the 49ers. I hope we win. I mean,
for my birthday, I predict you guys to win.
Well,
because I think you guys are going to win.
Oh, that'll be good because right now we're tied for first in the division with the Seahawks.
I don't see
that puts us ahead if Seattle loses, obviously, and it's even better because it's a division game.
Yeah.
So, and we always play good in our division. The only team we just can't seem to get past is the Cardinals.
Yeah.
We when Seattle was great, we gave Seattle fits. We beat them like 2 times a year. Like,
yeah, I remember, was it 2 years ago or I don't want to say it was last year. I want to say it was 2 years ago.
Oh, last year they beat us pretty handily
I want to say
Thursday Night Football.
2 years. Yeah, I remember that. 2 years ago, you guys opened the season against them, and you guys I think you guys lost by 2 points, and I'm like, what in the world is going on here?
Well, last season we beat them on the second game of the year.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, man. But for pick 6 for this week, I got the Rams over the 49ers on Thursday night. Hopefully we see some pretty cool colorish jerseys.
It's going to be yellow jerseys and black jerseys.
I don't want to see no yellow mustard. Hopefully we see like a gold. I like it.
That's not going to happen.
And then we'll run over to Sunday's game. Start off with the Dolphins at the Jets. I got the Jets. It's the home opener. We always play the Dolphins tough. The Jets are going to catch a break, and it's going to be in this win. If you look at it, we were doing very well last week against the Raiders. At one point, it was 20-17. And I was like, oh, man, we're actually in this game. Here we go. But
they ran away.
They had a couple big runs because our defense was just tiring out.
Yep.
Which that's understandable, but I'm not worried about the Dolphins. 24-17. No, I'm sorry. What did I say? 24-20. Jets win 24-20. That's what I got.
Jets lose 27-10.
Falcons at the Lions.
Lions got this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Lions. I don't believe in the Falcons right now. I really don't. But this is the battle of 2 bad defenses and 2 good offenses. So it's going to be a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 45-35 or 45-42. I wouldn't be surprised. But I got the Lions winning in a high scoring game.
35-23 Lions.
Saints at the Panthers. As terrible as both of these teams are, because the Panthers put up 9 points against the Bills.
Yeah.
I have the Saints winning this game. The Panthers are going to be struggling hard now that Greg Olsen is out for the next 6 to 8 weeks with a broken foot. McCaffrey's doing okay, but he's also been very quiet.
Well, I think the Panthers are going to win because I think this is the week that their offense is just going to break out because the Saints' defense is so bad. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think Carolina's going to score more than 20 points, or much more than 20 points. But, I still see them winning pretty like pretty easily.
I got the Saints 24-17.
Yeah, I mean,
Or 20. I'll do 28-17.
well, I got the same score, just reverse.
28-17 is what I got. Chiefs versus the Chargers. It looks like
Chiefs are gonna win.
looks
That
like
one.
the Chargers really need a division win.
They just need a win.
Period.
Yeah.
This will be close.
It will be close because
this will be like a 20-17 game.
Well, the Chargers are always in their games so far.
Yeah, all of their. I mean, they played against. I mean, they barely lost against Miami last week.
Mm-hmm.
They barely lost against Denver.
And both of them were field goals.
I'm just gonna say like it'll be like something like 2019.
Yeah, I mean,
I got the.
You got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'll take the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs, but I got the Chiefs like maybe say 27 to 17, something like that. I don't think it'll be that close. I think it'll be a game until
the Chargers. The Chargers are doing a very good job of staying in the game.
Yeah, they are.
So,
but
I just see them staying in it until like the last minute when they get a blocked field goal or miss a field goal or something. So
I just see this
2017
steamrolling right now.
I take it. Cowboys versus the Cardinals. What a terrible Monday Night Football game.
It is. I'm sorry, America.
You know what? I don't even want to. You know what? We'll do 7 games because the Sunday night game is Oakland at Washington.
Oakland will win that game.
And I like Oakland in that one.
But it'll be close.
It will be close because it's an offense that is better than the last 2 that the Raiders have played.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got Oakland winning.
I got Oakland in that one.
But with the Cowboys, I got the Cowboys winning that game.
I got the Cardinals.
And I need the Cowboys to win.
I have the Cardinals winning this one. I really do. This will be the moment that we actually see Chris Johnson
CJ2K.
We actually see CJ2K be CJ2K.
You know, I would not mind the Cardinals winning if I could see him play like he did.
Like if he runs, if Chris Johnson runs for over 150 yards, they win that game, no doubt.
Oh yeah, but if I could see him play in his prime one more time, I'd be so happy.
I just need one game, and this will be the game that it happens.
I hope so.
I got the Cardinals,
but I still got the Cowboys winning that game.
All right, man. Last topic. Stardom, fantasy stardom, sit 'em.
Well, gonna start the whole Panthers offense. Yeah, I mean,
Cam Newton, Kelvin Benjamin.
Put Cam at quarterback, put Kelvin as your number 1, and put McCaffrey on your flex.
You guys remember this. You guys remember this because when this backfires on him, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Listen, even if they lose, though, they're still gonna put up points.
I don't see it. I don't.
But my sit-ems, though, DeMarco Murray, because he's just. I mean, the offensive line's good, but he's sharing carries right now.
Not only that, they're just getting away from the run.
Yeah, that and my second sit-em was somebody that I really had high hopes for this season. Is Kirk Cousins. Just go ahead and sit him. And not because, the Raiders secondary is so good and everything. It's their defensive line in Oakland's going to get after him.
Oh, yeah.
So, I would sit Kirk Cousins. So, go ahead and pick up a hot hand right now. Go ahead and pick up Trevor Siemian. He's hot right now. And he's going against Buffalo. Pick up Siemian.
My stardoms would be, unfortunately, Jay Ajayi. I would start Jay Ajayi. The Jets have allowed over 150 yards of rushing the last 2 weeks. So I can guarantee you that Jay Ajayi is going to run for over 100 yards, which, as a Jets fan, I'm not worried about that because, we've been in these last 2 games even though we've had a rusher over 150 yards. If it wasn't for us falling apart in the fourth quarter, that game at one point was 20-24. I mean, I wasn't worried about that.
And then the Buffalo game, that game ended 21-12.
Yeah.
So I'm not, and if the first game we would have been even more productive if we actually like made some calls in the first couple quarters instead of like punting on fourth down and things like that.
Well, y'all's coach will be gone this season.
I hope not, because I hate having the circus of coaches coming in. So start JHI, because that'll get you some good fantasy points.
Yeah.
Start Drew Brees, because Carolina's secondary is not very good. It's not very good.
Well, I mean, their team's not very good. I mean, they're 2-0, but it's not an impressive 2-0.
It's not an impressive 2-0. Their defense is good. Their secondary is not.
Well, their defense is good. But
for Siddums, I would totally sit Jameis. No, I can't say Jameis Winston. I would sit Mike Evans. The only reason why I say that is Mike Evans is going to be going up against Xavier Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can totally start Deshaun Jackson, because Deshaun Jackson's going to have some big numbers along with Cameron Brate. Those are going to be some big guys to look after. But I would sit Mike Evans, especially if you're not in a PPR league, because he's only going to get maybe 50 yards and a touchdown, which that's 11 points, but that's if it actually happens.
Yeah.
Like I can't guarantee that. And sit. I had another one, but I can't remember who it was. Man, I'm going blank. I wish I could tell you who the second sit was, but I can't.
Go ahead and sit Jay Cutler. He'll be on the smoke break in the second half.
Yeah, you can sit Jay Cutler, because this will be the time that our secondary actually steps up, and
Darrelle Revis is coming back. You could also start, though. I mean, if we're talking number 2 receivers, go ahead and start Adam Thielen against Vernon Hargreaves.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
I mean, even Stephon Diggs, he might get the best out of Brent Grimes. So
and sit Jarvis Landry, because he'll be going up against Morris Claiborne. But
at the same time,
start Devontae Parker, because Devontae Parker is a bigger wide receiver, and Jay Cutler loves them big wide receivers. So
at the same time, though, with Thielen and Diggs, you also got to remember that you're taking a chance starting them because Bradford's not playing.
Yeah, that's also true.
So
definitely start Sammy Watkins, Cooper Kupp
looking great.
Start one of them. No, actually sit both of them and start Tavon Austin. This will be the week Tavon Austin blows something out of the water.
I hope so.
Tavon Austin will have like 100 yards of rushing off a jet sweep and things like that.
I like watching Tavon.
I see Tavon Austin and Jared Goff having big numbers this week, along with my boy Todd Gurley. So I like that.
Which Mike's fixing to trade me Todd Gurley.
Definitely not happening. Well, I think that ends
it.
The birthday podcast. Turned 25.
You did, didn't you?
Man.
1 year behind you.
I'm like a quarter of a century old.
You are.
Man. Alright, well, thank you guys for tuning in.
You're a quarter.
Guys, tune back in next week for another Pro Sports Room podcast.
That's right.
We greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that. We love it. We like it. We want some more of it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
See you guys.
We'll see y'all later.
Boom.
Bye-bye.